Gallium is a really interesting element. It's in group 13 of the periodic table along with elements like aluminium, boron, etc. It can melt in the hand around 29.7 degrees Celsius, but it's solid at room temperature, which makes it a really interesting, unique element to look at. Here though, what we're doing is we're melting it in some hot water just to save time, because it does take a little while to melt in the hand. And we can see that just with warm water it melts partially because we haven't left it in long enough, and it can be poured like any other metal. Notice how it's got quite a high surface tension compared to a lot of other liquids you might be familiar with. Gallium was first predicted in 1871 by Mendeleev, who named it Urca aluminium from its position on the periodic table with aluminium and the other group 13 elements. Gallium's existence was later proven in 1875 by Lecoq, who isolated it by observing two violet spectral lines in a sphalerite sample. He isolated the element using electrolysis of the hydroxide. Gallium has two main uses in industry. One of them is to make gallium arsenide semiconductors, which are used in computers, and the other is to use them to make violet or blue LEDs. In addition, researchers are currently looking at gallium as a potential for a treatment of several different kinds of cancers. It's quite easy to grow crystals with gallium as well. All you need to do is get some molten gallium and put a little bit of solid sample into the liquid. Leave it 5 to 10 minutes, and when you pull that little solid piece out, it would have formed a crystal around it. So here we are, several minutes later, and we can try and dig around there to find our solid little clump we put in. And sure enough, when we pull it out, we find that it's grown quite quickly actually for crystallization into a nice little crystal structure. And here's one I grew for about 20-25 minutes. It was quite hard to take out because everything was starting to solidify by that point. The last thing to note about gallium is when it's on a solid surface, it can make an amazing mirror effect. Best works on glass.